Welcome back to the Social Experiment with Sunny and Shay. We have already started our discussion, and if you're joining us on the social media, we have a hashtag.
We certainly do. It's hashtag SOCEXP. We have in the studio with us today Mr. Green, Mr. Red, Miss Blue, and Mr. Orange. And we've been asking them a very simple question, which we'd like to get your thoughts on as well. What's your perspective on eating religiously slaughtered meat? Now, Miss Blue, before we went to the break, you said specifically you don't believe we need to eat meat. Science, however, may disagree with you on that. We have many doctors within this country who say nutritionally you need meat, whether it's for vitamins, iron. What's your perspective on that?
Well, we absolutely don't need to eat meat. There's nothing that we can't get from plants, from rice, from beans, legumes, and doctors will tell you that. Nutritionists will tell you that. The World Health Organization last year actually put out a very in-depth report that showed eating meat is not only unnecessary, but it actually can increase your risk of cancer. So not only can we choose for the animals to not eat meat, but we should be doing so for our own health.
Now, Mr. Orange, you're someone who's reverted away 2 years ago and you stopped eating meat. Was that part of the reasons why you stopped eating meat? What was your reasoning behind walking away from that diet?
To be honest, the main actual reason was my mum fell sick with cancer.
Okay.
So, and then we looked into alternative ways of how to cure cancer, and veganism was one of the things that popped up.
Mm-hmm.
So after looking into a lot of things with meat and what can happen from red meat and etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was more that, and then after I just kept looking into it,
mm-hmm.
it just took me away from it. Like, I know it's so cliche, but like, we won't kill our pets, but we're killing these animals that are having babies. You know what I mean? They're having babies, and we're taking them away from their parents and their babies, and it's just sad. So, you know what I mean? There's studies where animals are crying after their babies have been taken away from them, and then they're growing up to being slaughtered. So, like,
is there enough information out there when it comes down to our diets at the moment, or is it too much information supporting vegetarianism and the meat eaters as well?
Say that again, sorry.
So is it enough information, clear information on the right diet for us as consuming as human beings, I guess?
Oh, there is quite a lot of information with meat eating and how it can cause certain cancer cells to come out, but so can a lot of things. So,
right.
so you know what I mean? So we're not all perfect. There's not one set diet of how to not get cancer and one set diet of how to be healthy.
Right.
So I just feel like it's your own opinion, how you want to treat yourself. And I feel better since I stopped eating meat. I stopped eating dairy. Consuming any dairy products. I felt a lot better, like, immediately. So I continue to do it. And I would never tell someone, stop, don't do this, and make sure you don't do this. But I will, if they want to hear my opinion, then I'll give them my opinion.
You've given us some really strong thoughts there, and I can say Miss Blue is nodding away at all of that.
I agree with that.
But let's see what Mr. Red thinks about that. Mr. Red, what's your perspective on this?
No, I think, like, meat has its protein values as well, and plus from the first man on this planet, we've been eating meat. That's all we've ever been doing.
Not necessarily.
No,
well, just because we've been doing something for many years doesn't mean we should continue it if it's actually proved to be wrong and bad for the environment, for our health and animals.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong that we should stop, but I personally think that, like, all I've ever known, are like eating meat, because I personally think I can't give up eating meat, because there's too many things out there which is like,
same thing. I was like, you think I can knock
how
down
could you give up barbecue?
I used to have a Nando's stamp.
Or like fried chicken. Come on, man. You guys are losing out, man.
I am telling you now.
But that's your own choice, and this is my choice.
Listen,
But
I'm telling you now, I thought I could never give up chicken. I really did. I was saying to myself, I can never give up chicken.
No, but it's just even when my mum cooks at home, I miss the salad part out. Because I'd rather just go for the meat. It's just me.
No, it is.
It's just one of them things,
I actually quite like veg and quite like salad and stuff like that. So I'm not actually. I'm not missing this. I actually enjoy healthy food. So,
right.
Let's bring in Mr. Green, because I can tell Mr. Green you're laughing, but you're itching to get involved.
The thing is, that's why you have diets. Everyone can have their own meat, have vegetables. You can mix it around. You don't necessarily just need to have vegetables. As in, if you have a straight diet, you can, like you said, you get cancer from meat. If you've got a diet, then you can get away from that. If you go to a doctor, they will prescribe you a diet depending on you for example, like if you want to eat meat, you want to eat vegetables, a doctor will give you a diet. That's not a problem. And
So what about the lack of choice, I guess, for people who want cold meat? For example, if the Jewish community, some of them would like kosher meat, and that's not an option, widely available. And just like people who want non-halal meat, those options aren't available in the same restaurant. What do you feel about choice? Do you think there should be a choice?
yeah, there
for,
should be a choice
and
for
catering for
there
everyone.
should be a
going
choice
to
for
a restaurant?
everyone generally. Yeah, there should be a choice for everyone because obviously, if I want to go to a restaurant, I want to have halal meat.
Yes.
Obviously, and if I can't find it, I'm going to be upset, whatever. But yeah, there should be a choice for everyone generally. It's
And
like
if
for
you went to a
vegetarians, for
restaurant-
people with meat, for people who have halal meat, there should be a choice in general.
So if you went out with a group of friends and had no halal meat on the menu at that time, would you then eat vegetarian?
Yeah,
food?
I'd have a vegetarian option. Yeah.
So you wouldn't actually bring that up and say, why can't we go to a restaurant where there's halal?
Yeah, I would, but if they all want to go to a different restaurant, it's not a problem. I ain't going to cry about it. I could just have vegetarian option.
Okay.
It's
The
nothing
thing is, we're
major.
talking about choice here, and we
Yes.
all do have an individual choice. The animals do not have a choice whether to be, bred in these factory farms, sometimes with hundreds of thousands of other animals. And chickens, for example, they're killed at about 38 days old. They don't choose to be killed so that we can sit down and eat a meal. And of course, again, it all comes back to choice. We all can choose, even if we are meat eaters, to enjoy more vegan food. Just because you eat meat doesn't mean that you can't enjoy a vegan meal, as you were saying.
And can I ask you as well, did you ever eat meat, Miss Blue? Have you
Yeah.
ever had? And when did you revert away from meat? I mean, what was the reasoning behind it? We've already heard from Mr. Orange it was because of his mum.
Yeah, I grew up in a family that ate meat. I was taught that it was acceptable to do so. And then one day I was at college and I was studying something in philosophy and saying, yeah, animals have rights to be free from exploitation. And I was agreeing that that was true because animals shouldn't be used and shouldn't be treated cruelly or made to suffer. And then someone turned around to me and said, well, do you eat meat? And I was just completely stumped. I was like, well, yeah, and it just clicked for me that those two things do not go hand in hand. You can't say that you care about animals and want to reduce their suffering while paying other people to slit their throats. Those two things are completely...
Let's pick up on that point then. Mr. Red, what would you say to Miss Blue? Because obviously she's talking about a contradiction which you actually say you live by, and that's the only way that you've ever eaten meat in your life.
Repeat that because I didn't.
What do you agree with what she's saying? She's saying you can't say you care about animals, but at the same
No,
time...
but there's certain
you
animals
happen
we
to
care
eat.
about. Like, I wouldn't go out there and like slaughter a dog and eat that because that's like my pet. You
But
get
what's
what
the
I mean?
But what's
It's
the
like,
difference?
What is the difference?
like because like
Meat is
all
meat, isn't
like
it?
ever since like all I've ever known is to like eat meat because meat has always been to me is like cow or chicken or something like that. It's never been something that I kept at home as a pet or like something that I got attached to.
But then you have a goldfish at home. Would you eat
No, I
goldfish?
wouldn't eat the goldfish. Obviously not.
But we need to be thinking about why are we getting away from killing these animals. It's because they feel pain and they feel fear. Cows, pigs, chickens, they all feel the same thing. And they all feel the pain when their throat is cut, and they all can smell the blood and the fear on the other animals in the slaughterhouse. It doesn't make a difference whether it's a dog or a pig.
What would you say to that, Mr. Green?
Yeah, we're not perfect, obviously, we're humans, we all make mistakes, whatever. But saying that, then, like, if we're killing animals, it's bad. But then saying that, like, we kill plants as well, they're living organisms, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
But they don't have a nervous system.
Yeah, I know, I get that, but it's still a living thing. Like we cut, you know what I'm trying to say? We cut trees, we cut stuff like that.
So would you eat
it's
a dog?
It's still bad, but I eat animal, like I eat like sheep or whatever. But the cleanest way, the most humane.
Yeah,
way,
the most hygienic.
the most hygienic way of killing an animal.
Yeah, but
because for example, like I said, we go around, we kill plants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's still bad.
So what you're saying for you, if you're looking at life, you are equating a plant, a tree, a chicken or a cow at the same level. If
No,
you
not
can
the same. Not the same level.
Right.
Obviously, because like you said, animals have nervous systems.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's still a living thing, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Okay, that is an actual, to agree, absolutely right. What did you want to come in and say with that, Mr. Orange?
Just basically the fact that like we're in this world, we're saying which animals are okay and which animals are not
Yes.
okay. So it's like we're saying that we're allowed to keep a dog and a cat as a pet, but we're not allowed to eat them. Okay, and then we're not allowed to have a cow and a sheep or anything else as a pet, but we're allowed to eat them. It's weird, isn't it? So like same way when that big outbreak with horses and Burger King and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like and people are still eating there, like, you know what I mean? And for years they're saying it's 100% beef, and like there was proven statistics that it wasn't 100% beef. But are we able to eat horse? No one's complaining about the taste. So continue to eat it. You know what I mean? Like that's what's in people's heads basically. So obviously that's what baffles me, the fact that we still think that these animals do not have feelings, and they clearly obviously do. There was a statistic as well about cows, how a cow can live up to 24 years, and if they're organically bred and they actually live with their like family, where the cows that are in the what we eat in the shops now are living up to 4 years. You know what I mean? They're collapsing at 4 years because all we're doing is impregnating them and making them getting milk out of them all the time, and then after 4 years their legs are collapsing, they're killing them and then putting them into the shop in Sainsbury's, and then oh yeah, that's fine. You know what I mean? If you're eating an organic meat, it's obviously going to be better for yourselves than it is if you're going to be eating some 4-year-old quick meat. You know what I mean? So,
Mr. Green, you wanted to comment on that while he was talking. Mr. Orange was talking. You wanted to say something.
I've forgotten that.
It's okay. So, Mr. Red, let me get your opinion on this. Now, you say, and you've said since the beginning of the show, this is what you've known. If you've known different, or has anyone of your family or your friends come up to you and give you an alternative point of view when it comes down to meat?
See, not really, because you know my friends, we're like they all eat meat.
Yes.
So like I've got different friends that are like, you know, and they're not against like halal meat or different meat.
Okay.
So you get what I mean. I've got friends that are Sikhs.
Yes.
He eats halal meat and he doesn't eat halal meat.
Okay.
So
he's indifferent. He doesn't matter which way.
It doesn't matter where it comes from for him. But like for me, I would have to stick to halal meat.
So let me ask you this: if you stick to halal meat, do you also stick to all other aspects of, say, what you believe in when it comes down to what you've been taught since you're a kid? Like, for instance, smoking and taking drugs and stuff.
Yeah, I'm against smoking and drugs as well. Yeah.
Okay, so for you, it's more about the whole way of life. We're going to
it's the whole way of life. Yeah.
We're going to continue talking with all of our guests, and I know it's got quite heated, but that's exactly what happens here on The Social Experiment. If you want to get involved on the social media, it is #SOCEXP.
We'll see you on the other side of the break.